seems there's another premium kit manufacturer on the market, and they sent me some kits to review. As you can probably see, the kit is called Mad One. Seemed like quite a funky name at first, but it is named after the Col de la Madone. This is a climb I've actually done myself. It's in the south of France, and it's one that many pros use to test themselves. And I must say, I think it's actually a pretty sweet climb. But the Madone is sometimes called the Mad One. I guess if you just split the Mad and the Own, you get the name. So I think it's quite a cool name once you know the story behind it. I'm gonna have a bunch of chapters linked down below, guys, so you can skip to anything that you want to. Let's get into it. I think we've got to kick this story off with the fit, and I love it. It seems to fit my body shape really, really well. You guys, of course, can be your own judges, but everything feels snug around every part of the body without feeling too tight, meaning you can't really see any wrinkles on the jersey or the shorts, which I think looks really good. At first, I kind of have bigger arms than most cyclists because I'm also a swimmer, but I thought that these bands around the bottom here, they don't have any silicone or anything, they're just like a tighter band at the bottom. I thought they were too tight, but the moment I started riding, I didn't think about it once. And actually, it's very good for keeping the jersey down the arm. They don't ride up the arm, even when you pull it quite hard. And it's kind of the same story with the shorts. They do have some silicone. You know, they all go for their own like branded. This is like Mad One silicone. But you know, it just seems to stay in the perfect position on the legs. I also think that the legs are the perfect length on the bib shorts. For me, once again, I have quite long legs. I'm 192 centimeters tall. You know, they don't sit too high, they don't sit too low. They're just in a really nice position, in my opinion. The front of the jersey here also has like a nice like low cut to it. So when you're in the bike position, it doesn't feel like it's pulling up against your neck. Guys, I've gone true to size on this kit. I have gone medium on the jerseys and I've gone large on the bib shorts, and you'll have all of my stats on screen now if you want to compare it to what you have for yourselves. The next thing I really like about the fit is actually the modesty on the straps. When cycling, I've come to really like a thicker strap that's wider and, well, covers the nipple area. If you ask me, these ones do that perfectly and they just seem to stay in place, so. Next up on my list is the chamois. How well does the chamois perform? Because this is a really important thing when you're cycling. The good parts about it is that it has a really nice density to it. So like even for like heavier guys like me, the density seems to absorb pretty much most of that weight. It also sits in the perfect position for me as well. Sometimes the chamois can kind of be too high up the butt, and I'm more sitting on the nose of the chamois rather than the pads. But no, this one seems to sit in the right position for me. If I had to draw one thing that I'm not mad about the chamois on here is I don't think the thickness, well, I don't think it's thick enough. So the density's there, the firmness of it is really good. But yeah, I would like a little bit more thickness. And this is only because I'm a heavier guy. I reckon if you are under 80 kilos, this isn't going to be a problem. But I'm at 90 and I would just like a little bit more thickness on that chamois just to absorb a bit more of that like kind of extra weight that I have sitting on top of the saddle. So I have found that I can do really long rides on it, and I've also found that riding day after day on the chamois is more than doable as well, even for a guy of my size. But if I had to make it perfect, that's the one change I would personally make for me. Next up, I want to talk about the pockets, because this is where they've really nailed it down. Like, they've been super thoughtful on what to do here. Let's get into it. So kicking it off, on the right hand side where I would normally put my phone, we have also a zip pocket in there as well. And this is genuinely one of the first zip pockets that I've been able to operate without using two hands. Now I'd normally put like keys or something in here, so I'd never normally operate it whilst on the bike because I want my house keys to be safe, but it's a good start. Now for the middle pocket, you may notice that it has like an extra fold in here on either side, and that means it's perfect for fitting like a windstopper or your waterproof jacket in there. It just fits in there so much more comfortably. It's not super tight, makes it easy to fit other things in there if you want to as well. But it does also mean that when it's out of the pocket, because of that fold, it sits flat on your back whilst you're riding. Then next up on the left-hand pocket where I normally keep my fuel and stuff, you'll notice is that it's got like a mesh pocket on top. And on the side here, it has a very small kind of like 2-finger hole in there. And what it's really good for, say you have like an empty like gel wrapper or something like that, it's really good for putting them in. So it is a fairly small hole, like you are stuffing the stuff in there, but it does mean when you're riding, you can then go into your pocket and you're not pulling out all the old gel pockets and things like that. It's just a really nice way to separate your unused and used gels and fuel. And yeah, I love this design because you're never going to accidentally pull out a new gel and pull out a used old gel wrapper with it and accidentally litter. So yeah, in my opinion, some really well thought out pockets that actually work. Best pockets on the market so far. Aerodynamics. Is it fast kit? Well, this is obviously something that's super hard to measure in the real world. And one thing I will say, it doesn't have any like textures or trip strips and things like that on the jersey, but I think it would be fast kit just because it fits really well. You know, it's very wrinkle free, which makes kit faster, and it has that snug fit as well. Is the kit good at keeping you cool? And well, yeah, actually it's very good. Not once did I feel too hot or feel too clammy or feel too sweaty in the jerseys. It does show on the chest when you are sweating and working really hard, but it doesn't feel like it's all sticky on your body and stuff like that. And yeah, it feels like air flows through the jersey, no problem. So I can't pick out any flaws in this part of the kit. I would like to give a brief mention to the socks here as well. Well, first of all, they're really nice and soft, and they stay nice and soft even after quite a lot of washes. They also sit nice and high on the leg, they don't fall down. But finally, even though those things are really good, a lot of socks don't stand up to that kind of scrutiny. The thing I've been most impressed about is they're still white. I tested these for 3 weeks straight in Mallorca. I got caught out in the rain like 5 or 6 times. And you know how after you wash your socks after you've been in the rain, they look kind of grey. These ones just haven't done that. So yeah, they've quickly become my favourite sock. They have done some more thoughtful things. Every single logo on here is reflective. I found it really hard to get this on video. You need the kind of correct lighting conditions, quite dark outside, and car headlights normally work the best. But yeah, it just helps you be a little bit more seen. And when I mean every logo, it's every logo, including the one on your butt there, the M on the front. The style, this is of course personal and subjective. For me, this kind of like tealy blue on the lab level stuff and that tealy blue pocket, I think it looks really cool. Like it grew on me very quickly, and it's just got a slightly different style and a different look to what other brands are doing. So if style matters to you, I think this offers something different. Now, longevity, does the kit last a long time? This is something I can't fully judge, but one thing I will say, I rode this kit straight for 3 weeks in Mallorca, day in, day out. And I was being quite mean to it. A lot of it was in the rain. It had to be washed every single day, especially the shorts. I've only got one pair of shorts, so I also had to tumble dry them as well. I know you're not supposed to, but the quality of the chamois didn't seem to degrade at all. The kit feels as soft as it did when it first started. As I mentioned earlier with the socks, they're still really white and they're still really soft. Normally they go like kind of like harder and crispier, the socks. And yeah, they kind of go a bit grey, but no, they've kept much better than I thought they would. So initially, yeah, it seems like the longevity is going to be there, but I can't say for certain. If you're watching this video like a year on, then drop me a message if you still want to know about the longevity and I'll reply to it. Okay, the cost. This is the bit that always hurts the bank account, and these guys have put themselves up in the premium tiers. The jersey comes in at 180 euros, pounds and dollars on screen now, and that is for both the one jersey and the lab jerseys. The one jersey is more designed for like comfort and longevity, whereas the lab jerseys are more designed for fit, racing and aerodynamics. Personally, I like the lab ones because I like the blue accent colours a lot. Then we get to the bib shorts. These come in at 210 euros. And once again, that's for both the lab and the one shorts as well. Guys, I'm not gonna judge the prices of the kit here because it's a very personal thing. Last thing on cost, if you are outside the European Union, then what will happen is they will take the tax off the price of the kit they're about to send to you, and then you will pay the tax on the way in. So you'll make a smaller payment initially, and then you'll make a second payment to pay the tax as it comes into your country. Obviously, you still see a lot of like map and panel mount kit out there. People are still spending the money on like the really expensive stuff. And this definitely competes with it on the quality front for sure. As I've mentioned earlier, with things like the pockets and stuff like that, I think that this kit is really well thought out. Might be the best thought out kit I've actually used. So really, if you want something in that premium range that is different to what most other people are riding, I can definitely recommend this kit. As usual guys, do let me know what you think. If you have any questions about the kit that you think I've missed, put them in the comments below. I reply to pretty much most things. Or you can find me on Instagram over here, where once again, I reply to pretty much most things. And you can just follow my daily shenanigans. But I've been Jason, this has been Cycling Unboxed. Catch you in another video.